Hey everybody, and welcome to the Get Speaking English Coffee and Crossword stream. My name is Axel, and while we wait for the stream to begin, let me quickly explain how this activity works and give you some information that will help you do it. So, during the stream, we will go through a crossword similar to the one you see on the screen right now. I'm going to guide the conversation by letting you know which question will work on when. I'm going to explain the question to you, maybe give you some definitions, and then I'm going to give you additional clues, other information, hints, maybe some images to help you figure out the answer with me. So, when you think you know an answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. You'll be able to participate on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. The addresses are all available on the screen. So don't be shy if you think you know an answer. Put it in the chat, and when I see a correct answer, I will add it on the board and we will fill out the crossword together that way. So before we begin though, there are a few important rules that you should know specifically about this stream so we can all have a good time. So my first major rule is no cheating. So don't use the internet unless I tell you to. So we could Google the answers if we want or use websites. We're not going to do that though. We're going to work together instead. So please do not use the internet unless I tell you to do so. Secondly, please follow the conversation. So for example, if we are talking about question number 3, don't start talking about question 19. Also, too, please be patient. We may take some detours along the way. I love to talk about additional vocabulary, phrases, other things that are related to what's in the crossword. So just please be patient. Try to stay with the group and don't ruin it for others. Finally, please be nice to one another. Like I said, you'll be able to participate on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, but let's create a nice, friendly learning environment where people feel like they can participate without judgment and have a good time. So those are my main rules for playing this game. Now I'm going to give you some additional information specifically about this crossword to help you complete it. So the first useful thing to know is that this is an American crossword. So that means that American spelling and vocabulary is going to be used. So you can see on the screen right now some differences between American and British spelling. There are many others. This is just a small sample of some of the differences. There are also differences in the choice of vocabulary, in some of the phrases, some of the slang is different. So usually this crossword uses American English. It's also worth knowing that any of the trivia is usually about the United States, so about American history, American geography. However, we won't need to know much trivia. Thankfully, the majority of the questions in this crossword are about language, they're about English, so we won't need to know a lot about trivia. It's also really helpful to know that the answers match the questions. So the answers will always use the same type of word and the same word form as the word in the question. So for example, if there is a plural in the question, there will be a plural in the answer. If there's an abbreviation in the question, there will be an abbreviation in the answer. So all of that is extremely helpful. Sometimes you will see me put little S's or EDs in places, and that's just good information for us to know to fill out the board faster. Keep that in mind too when you are answering, that your answer should always use the same type of word and the same word form as the question. Also, multiple word answers are okay in this crossword. So sometimes the answer could be a phrasal verb, maybe part of a common phrase or an idiom, part of a sentence. Some of the longer ones are titles of books, titles of movies. This crossword does not indicate when something is a multiple word answer. However, I am usually quick to spot them. I will let you know if something is a multiple word answer, but do keep in mind when you are thinking about the answers to the questions that multiple word answers are possible. Finally, too, because we are here to review English, we're here to learn new words and vocabulary as well. It's important to know that there are words in this crossword that we can't really use in real life. So some of the words are just archaic, they're outdated, they're old-fashioned. Some of them are very formal or used only in very specific contexts. I will try to let you know if you can't use something, and I'll try to give you an alternative expression instead. I'll also let you know when you could use something in a specific context, but do keep that in mind that there are words in this crossword that even I, as a native English speaker, would never use in real life during a conversation. Anyway, so that's it. Like I said, don't be shy. Go ahead, jump in. The more you participate, the faster this crossword will go. So I do appreciate your help. Also, don't hesitate to ask questions about any of the words we talk about or any of the phrases we discuss. I always love having a good language discussion. So put your questions in the chat. I will try to address them. Finally, if you enjoyed this activity, please give this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel or following my Facebook page so you don't miss any future streams. Also, please tell other people about this stream. The more people we can get out, the better. It grows the community, and it will let me host even more free live streams, free events, and other additional affordable group activities for English learners. So thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here, and I love when you participate. And get ready because we are going to start soon. My name is Axel, if you don't already know, from Get Speaking English, and we are going to do a crossword. So, we're going to be doing this crossword here, the one that you see on the screen. So, like I said in the video, we are going to go through this together. I'm going to direct the conversation, let you know which question we're going to work on when. I'm going to explain the question. I'm going to give you alternative clues and hints and things like that to help you figure out the answer with me. And then when I see the answers, I'm going to add it to the board. So right now I am live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can play at any of those locations, but apparently YouTube is the best place to play right now. I think the lag is less too. There's always a bit of a delay whenever I'm streaming, so it takes a couple of seconds for whatever I say to get to you guys and then the information to come back. So apparently there is less delay on YouTube, so I'd highly recommend playing there if you want to play. But I will also be watching the chats over on Facebook and Twitch as well. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, yeah, so let's get right into it, I suppose. Yeah, it's good to see you guys. I'm not quite awake yet. Actually, I feel kind of awake, but yeah, let's see here. All right, so we have some elevator parts and pulled off Okay, let's talk about elevators for a second, I guess. Something that an elevator would have. We can see that there's an S here, so this is going to be a plural. An elevator is one of those things that go, sort of those boxes that go up and down between buildings. They call it a lift in British English, or over in the UK at least. Here we call them elevators. Little difference there in vocabulary. Yeah, so let's brainstorm maybe some parts of a elevator and see if we can get the answer here. I think I know what it is, actually. So things that every elevator has. Maybe I'll get a picture of an elevator too, just so we are all on the same page. Although I think we all know what an elevator is. Here we go. Some elevators. So we can see obviously there are buttons that you can push to go up and down. The elevator, you know, the elevator travels through an elevator shaft. We would call that the shaft, and it uses cables to go up and down. But I think doors is our answer. Exactly. I also agree that doors is probably the answer. So let's put doors here. Awesome. So great job. We also have the little buttons that you press to go up and down to select which floor you want to go to. All right, so great. So advice. Okay. Plow, pioneer. From the country. Let's do this one maybe. From the country. So obviously country can be, you know, a name of a nation, right? But I think here we're talking about, we are talking about sort of, places kind of in the middle of nowhere, kind of like the country side almost, sometimes we might call it. And hello, Ak. Hi, welcome. I'm doing really great. How are you doing today? It's really good to see you. You should play sometime. You should throw out some answers sometimes. I would love for you to play. But I'm doing really good. So the countryside, yeah, we're talking about places that are kind of remote almost, right? Not urban, right? And exactly, I think rural is going to be our answer here. So rural, that sounds about right. Kind of the opposite of urban, right? Anything urban is related to the city. Whereas something rural, that is kind of remote, kind of far away or away from the city. Okay. And a dance move. A dance move. So usually when we are talking about dancing, well, a move is kind of like a movement that you would make while you were doing, right? But usually, often when we talk about dancing, we, you know, talk about, we might say the footwork, right? Basically the things that the feet do, right? So I don't know if that's going to be helpful, but yeah, this word here is kind of related, like how we would refer to the individual moves that you'd make, but kind of with your feet while we are dancing. And exactly, step, I think, is our answer. Could I inbox with you? Yeah, I'm horrible at getting back to my messages on Facebook, actually, aren't I? I will look for your message, Ak. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with Facebook. But you're welcome to send me a message. I know I had mentioned maybe doing some sort of group classes or whatever like that. That is still in my mind, something that I want to do. I'm gonna go away for a little bit, but I'm gonna come back and maybe focus on making some things happen. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so step, so we got that there. And binary digit. So digit refers to a number, right? And binary, something binary, this has to do with computer codes. So you might have to know a little bit about computer coding to get this answer. But they're sort of, yeah, when we're interpreting code as binary, there's sort of like a system that relies on two numbers. We can see here, we have the bi here, so we know that this has to do with like a 2-number system used for programming computers. And so there are 2 numbers. So there is whatever number this is, and 0 is kind of the other one. I wonder if I can get a picture. That might make this make sense. But yeah, if you think you have an idea. So not odd. I think we're looking really specifically, like really literally, the numbers. Because they want a number. They want basically a number used in binary codes. Maybe I'll get a picture. Maybe it kind of looks like something like this, where everything is like just basically a series of little numbers. And then all of that is transferred into information somehow. I don't know. I don't really code. I don't know a lot about computers, but I think our digit is going to be 1. Usually binary code is comprised as 1s and 0s. And I don't really know the details, really, but let's put a 1 in here. Put a 1 in here and we could move on, I think. So I like this clue, actually. If you pull... so there are a couple ways that we could use the phrasal verb pull off, right? We could like literally take something off of something, remove it, maybe pull something off, because pulling is an action, right? You might take it and move it towards you. But we could also pull off, if you pull off something, it basically means you maybe complete your, like a task, right? And maybe specifically a difficult task. Like if you pull something off, yeah, specifically if you did something kind of really difficult here. So yeah, so if you pull, yeah, if you pull something off, you succeed, yeah, at doing something rather difficult or unexpected. Like you might pull off a trick, for example, or to pull off a stunt as well. Something kind of tricky. So we're kind of looking for sort of just another way to express that. And exactly, I think did is going to be our answer here. So if you pulled it off, you did it, basically. Perfect. Yeah. All right. So let's put that here. And this one. So advice. So advice. Note this is advice. We have like the C, so it's the noun, right? As opposed to advise, which is the verb, right? With a Z sound. But yeah, so advice, we're basically, yeah, I guess like looking for a synonym. I-N something P U-T yeah. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, this could be advice, but really if you just give what you think about something, maybe maybe your thoughts about a situation, basically. Something like that. Yeah, say if you had a situation, like you had a problem, maybe you would talk to a lot of people and get their feedback about it. So feedback could be another great way to sort of talk about this. But yeah, something like that. Yeah, help, sort of ideas or knowledge maybe that someone gives you about a project or something. Anyways, yeah, input. I think input is gonna be here. Yeah, so not super direct, but yeah, you would ask for maybe advice or input on a situation. Yeah. Yeah. So when you have when you have a problem, do you tend to get input from other people, or do you try to just sort it out yourself? Because I know not everybody likes to talk about things with other people. So I'd be interested to know whether you like to get lots of input, lots of feedback from people, or if you tend to just sort things out yourself. I know I could do more. I could be better at getting input on things. But anyways. So siestas. Siestas are kind of like little breaks that happen during the day. Typically in Spain or sort of like Spanish countries, Latin American countries. This is a Spanish word. So like a little break maybe happens midday during when it's sort of like the hottest part of the day. We can see that there's an S here as well. Exactly, a nap. You would typically take a nap during a siesta. Exactly. And we might also say to take a siesta. That's kind of the collocation. You would take a siesta. You would also take a nap. To take a nap. And we could use nap as a verb too. He was, napping on the couch, for example. But take a nap is typically the verb that we would use with that. And if you happen to know this trivia, this plow pioneer, a pioneer is somebody who does something first. But this is a big name in like lawnmowers and stuff. At least here it is. I don't know if it is the rest of the world, but big name in like lawnmowers and I guess tractors, plows, and things like that. So if you happen to know, let me know, but we'll put it in, we can go back to this. Carnival City. Carnival City. Yeah, places where carnival happens. It's like a festival, right? Deere, exactly. Yeah, John Deere. It's a tractor brand or tractor company or something. Yeah, so carnival is like a festival. Is a festival that happens in a couple different places, but there's one place in particular where it is very famous for carnival. South America. So a place in South America where they have carnival. I think it's coming up soon, or is it right now? I think it's soon. Rio, exactly. Rio de Janeiro is where carnival is going to happen. They also have one in Venice, too. It's another place, but Rio, I think, is the most famous place for carnival. All right. I don't think we're gonna get this. This is it's like a type of, it's like a very American thing. Geography. Peculiar. Tabloid. Staple. I know what this is, but I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say this word. Okay, wait. I'm gonna look it up. This name, this place name. Curacao. But I think that this place is a it's like a tropical island. Curacao. In no, where is it? My geography is not always that great. I'm looking really quickly to see where this is. It's a very, yeah, okay, yeah. So it's like a tropical kind of an island in the Caribbean. Huh. Yeah. This might be tricky. Maybe a tropical island in the Caribbean. We may have to also go back to this one. Tropical island. Apparently it's kind of part of the Netherlands or something, which is kind of interesting. Maybe we should go back to this one, but it starts with an A. It starts with an A. I'll put an A in here. I wonder what this is. There's an easier one in here. Maybe we'll come back to this one. I'm trying to think of what this one is. We can do this one though. If something is peculiar, it is a little bit different from anything else. So yeah, something peculiar, a little bit odd, we might say. So something peculiar is a little odd or unusual. So I think we're kind of looking for a word like that, an adjective. That means kind of unusual or weird, maybe, something like that. Odd. And I think we can get this one. I think we will be able to get this one. It's going to be an easier one than the other one. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. So something we might say, yeah, something we might say is something is really unusual, that's just very different. I think this one is going to be strange. This one here. So I'm just gonna put it in here. So strange. So let's put that in here. And okay, I'm just gonna put this here. An IRA is kind of like almost like a pension plan or something. Not entirely sure. Strange. Yeah, exactly. Strange. Yeah. And now I think we'll be able to figure this one out. This tabloid staple. So a tabloid is one of those magazines where they talk about, you know, like celebrities and things like that. You kind of will find them at near the checkout in the grocery store, for example. Usually find them near the checkout at grocery stores, for example. And a staple is something that is basically like maybe a very common feature, or something that you would always basically have around. Usually we use the word staple when we're talking about food, so like bread, rice, flour, those are all examples of staples. But here we're looking for the word for something that's basically super common, that they would talk about in tabloids. So maybe we will get this. But basically another word to say maybe like celebrity gossip, that sort of thing. Yeah, because the tabloids will always sort of like focus on maybe like the unpleasant or bad sort of details about somebody's life, right? So they talk about celebrities, you know, the unpleasant, like the bad, yeah, basically bad details about someone's maybe private life or celebrity's private life. Yeah, so I don't know if we're gonna know this. This is a very informal word. Very informal. But yeah, it's usually you could also maybe get whatever about other people too, but basically sort of bad information, personal information about someone, particularly things that they don't really want to talk about. Yeah, tricky. Anyways, so this one, I think this is gonna be dirt. You know, so you would talk about, here we go. Let's put it in a sentence. So journalists are always digging for dirt. So they're always looking for sort of bad things to talk about, which is particularly common in the tabloids, right? So there's like so much focus on terrible things or terrible things that celebrities have done or things like that. So that's kind of how we might use that. Here's another example too. They are more interested in looking for dirt than reporting fairly about him. So here too, we can see that they're looking for just negative or bad things to say about this person, as opposed to just reporting in a kind of a unbiased, neutral way, right? So, and we can see here these qualifications. You might look for dirt, or digging for dirt. That's a great idiom. If you dig for dirt, it means that you are looking to discover sort of bad things about someone, so you can then maybe bring them to light and talk about them. So that's kind of an interesting one. All right, so let's do that. I don't know what this is. So we have a little bit more information about this one. This has an A and an R in it. Warbled. So actually the word this here, warbled, is a word that I would never say. This is a verb though. We can see, right? It has like an ed ending. It's like a past verb. So the past verb of a verb, past form of a verb. So the past form of a verb, and I don't specifically use the word warble, but I can tell you what I do know. There is a bird called a warbler, which I think is gonna give us a clue as to what this answer is. So I'm gonna share a little picture of a warbler. So here he is. Here's a warbler. Here's a warbler. And I think that this verb is basically something that a bird did. Something that a bird would do. So, yeah. So I think this answer here and something, something a bird did. And I think the the warbler or this refers to the bird's call. So I think this word refers to the bird's call. So the type of sound they make. Yeah, exactly. So sing. And then I think we're just looking for a past. So either the past form or maybe the past participle of sing. Yeah, so, but exactly. So that's kind of a tricky one. So you think it's going to be sang or sung? I know we have two options. If you want to give a guess, or I have also a guess. I have a guess because I think I know what this one is. Yeah, I agree that this is going to be a sang. And I think this here, this place, where was it? I'm gonna get like a little map. So here's a Curacao in the Caribbean. And I think this one's gonna be Aruba. Aruba. So I'm gonna put Aruba in here. So let's do that. Do you know Madonna songs? I think I know what this one is. I have a guess. I don't know a lot of Madonna songs, but I think we might know what this one is. And then we have another word for enormous. So something really, really big, something enormous. Is really, really big. So we're kind of looking for something like that. Yeah, I think that this is open your heart as well. Yeah, so let's put that in here. Open your heart. Now we have a H here. That is helpful. It is always helpful to get the really big words or the really big answers because it fills out so much information. All right, cool. Oh, I don't know if we're going to know this word. But we might know this word, this massage target. So something that you would focus on, something you want to maybe relieve or help when you get a massage. So a massage, you know, the act of rubbing someone's body with their hands, basically. And you would tend to do that to the muscles and things, right? But there's something in particular that we might get a massage for. I think this word refers to basically maybe like, you know, maybe mild, maybe a mild pain in your muscle, for example, that you'd get a massage for, something like that, or in your muscles. Something like that, I think. So that was going to be the target, the focus of our massage, maybe to relieve whatever this sort of dull, uncomfortable pain is. Yes, a continuous pain that is unpleasant, but not very strong. And maybe you would get this if you overworked your muscles, or maybe you do a lot of physical activity and things like that, or maybe you're even just on your feet all day and things like that, right? Then at the end you would sort of have this dull pain, you would have whatever this is, and then you might get a massage for it. I will give you a hint. It starts with an A. Let's put an A in here. There you go. I'll put an A in here. Because I don't think that we're gonna know this word. Okay. So massage. I don't know why I'm looking up visual representation of this word. Something like that. I think this word, this answer is going to be an ache. You would get a massage to relieve your, you would get, whoops. You would get a massage to relieve your aches and pains. So to relieve something, to lessen the pain, to get rid of it. And that would be the collocation, a very common collocation that we use when talking about aches. So aches and pains. We wouldn't say pains and aches, but aches and pains. That is how we would do it. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to put in here ache. Let's get some ache. Can't spell. There we go. I think this was in yesterday's crossword, like the one that we did last night. This door sign. I think it's like the same clue too. Am I remembering that right? So a sign you'd find on a door. Basically to kind of indicate that you can use that door, right? Yeah, enter or entry, exactly. So I think this is gonna be enter. That would be like the most common one. Enter or exit. Yeah, so let's put that there. And then this one, this scheme. Yeah, so scheme. If I were scheming about something, if I were scheming to do something, it means I'm maybe thinking and organizing a way to do something. So we're basically looking for a word all about making things happen. A word about making things happen, basically. You know, the set of maybe the set of things that need to happen in order to carry out a project, maybe? So in order to, I know I said to carry out a project, that just means to complete a project. Another great little collocation there. But yeah, kind of like the outline of things that you are going to do in order to accomplish something. And this is a noun, I should say. This is a noun. We could also use it as a verb too. Yes, I guess, yeah, this could either be a noun or a verb too. So one of those ones. Here's the official definition of this word. So a method for doing or achieving something that usually involves a series of actions or stages. Could also refer to something that you've arranged to do as well. So something like that. Exactly. I think this one is going to be plan as well. So you would create a plan, or maybe you would create a scheme for something. I wouldn't really use scheme as a noun, but I would use it from time to time as a verb. So, you know, I was scheming to do something. I was kind of planning to do something. And usually if you are scheming to do something, it means that you are planning to do something you actually shouldn't really do. Like maybe you're planning on carrying out trouble or causing some problems or something like that. So yeah. I'm gonna just like see. Yeah. Here's the official definition of scheme, at least as like a noun. So an organized plan for doing something, especially something dishonest or illegal. So that's how, yeah, if you would scheme to do something, it's kind of your doing sort of like these plans. And as a verb too, to make a clever or secret plans, basically to deceive others. So so a little bit of a difference there between scheming versus planning. Planning is a lot more general. We can use it in a lot more context, but for scheming, it's really specific if we want to cause trouble or do something we're not supposed to do. That's how I would use the word scheme. So assertion. Let's do this one, actually. I think, so Simone, I think we're looking for the French word here for see. So the French word for see, basically. Mare, okay, perfect. Yes, let's do that. So that's helpful. And this one here, assertion. If you assert something, so assertion is kind of related to the word assert, which basically means that you Yeah, you claim something. Exactly. Claim it to be true. You're very adamant that it's true. And this one here, so the pinnacle, God, how would I, there's a couple collocations I would use the word pinnacle in. Like the word, like pinnacle, the pinnacle of success, that is like the top most successful thing. So pinnacle, yeah, this is an interesting word. It's like the most successful part of something. So here, for example, in this, we can see it here in this example. So by the age of 32, she had reached the pinnacle of her career. So she had reached the top of her career. Exactly, apex. The apex is another word that we would use to refer to the top of something. Yeah, typically the top of a shape, though, like a top of a pyramid or something, or maybe the top of a mountain. Yeah, I suppose too, yeah, you could also use it too, as a sort of a synonym, direct synonym for apex. So he reached the apex of his career during that period as well. I always think about it as like for geometry. But yeah, just like the highest, most part. And I'm just gonna guess that this is a T. This is some sort of rock or something. So it's really common for rocks or minerals to end in an ITE suffix. So I'm gonna put that in there. Let me make a little educated guess. Yeah. I don't know what this is though. I wonder what this is. Let's look it up. Let's see what it looks like. It's not very pretty. Oh, I guess I could polish it. It's kind of, it's kind of has like this, not ochre, this color. It's not coming to me. Anyways, easy victim, and opposed. So if you're opposed to something, you are basically not in favor of something, right? Right, we can see the word almost like opposite in here. So, so basically, you know, be not in favor of something. We might say we might be opposed to an agreement. We might not support it, right? So we're looking for basically another word we might use if we are not in favor of something. And I feel like this is often a prefix, actually. This is a prefix, really. Or at least that's how I would use it. I guess you could use it as a noun. I often use it as a prefix. Anti. Exactly. Yeah, you're anti, something anti-something. It's like against it or the opposite, basically. Yeah, and if you are anti versus something, you are against it. The opposite of it being pro for something. Jot down. If you jot something down, that means that you write something. To jot something down means to write it down. So we're kind of looking for a word like that, basically. Typically with like a pen and a paper, write something down on paper, basically. And I like that collocation there too. I said with pen and paper. So that is also kind of a common collocation that we would use too. we're talking about writing, you know, on real paper. Note, exactly. So let's put note. And I know usually often note is a noun, but here we're using it as a verb. So, you know, like, she noted the details about the project in her journal or something like that, or in her notebook. So we could also use it as a verb as well, which is what is happening here. So note. Yeah. Ooh, I wonder if I can get this one. Or this one. An easy. So we have an easy victim. I feel that this is a kind of slang. This one is a sort of an informal way to refer to somebody who's kind of a little bit stupid, to be honest. Something. So someone who's a bit stupid, who is easily tricked, basically. And then we have, yeah, this one. If you do a parody of something, it's like, almost like, yeah, it's like a kind of like a funny sort of work of maybe writing or like theater or TV or something like that. That kind of plays off of the original thing, so it kind of makes, it's like a little bit of a joke about it. Yeah, just kind of maybe a tricky one. But yeah, this one is something. Oh. And it's going to end in an ed because we can see that there's a past form here. But yeah, so basically pretended to be someone maybe, or to copy the style of someone. So that's kind of like what it would mean to parody something. I feel like both of these might be new words, possibly. But you know, but sometimes you guys surprise me. So I want an ed here though. Yeah, I think this might be, both of these might be new. So this one here, somebody who's like a little bit dumb, a little bit slow, we might call them a sap. So if you hear somebody we might refer to somebody as a poor sap or a sad sap. That's kind of what we mean. Here, I'm gonna like put this in a sentence for us, but he'll lie around and let some other poor sap do all the work. So he will let somebody who's maybe a little bit of a sucker. Also, maybe somebody who's a little bit stupid and easily tricked into doing things we might refer to as a sucker. But yeah, he'll let somebody else do all the work. A poor sap or a sad sap. That is another collocation. So poor sap or a sad sap. So spudge. So it's not gonna be spudge. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a new one as well. This is gonna be spoofed. You spoof something. It's kind of like you kind of copy it in a kind of a humorous way. But you could also actually use spoof too when talking about like criminals might spoof websites or information, trying to catfish people as well too. So that is another way that we would use spoof as well. Basically make something appear legitimate. So that is another one, another way that we do. So yeah, so let's look at an example with this one, maybe. A second here. Looking for a good spoof. I mean, I don't know. Drink. I hate all of these examples, but that's fine. So they did a spoof of the 9 o'clock news. So basically they parodied the 9 o'clock news, but they did it in a way that it was kind of funny. So we could use it that way. That's sort of like a funny sort of piece of writing, or kind of almost comedy, that copies sort of some sort of original source. And then if we're talking about like criminals or scammers might also spoof things. And that is, you'd basically make that a phone call or maybe an email or a text is actually from somebody who it's not really from. So they make it look like it's from somebody that you know or from a very official source, but it's actually a scam. Yeah, so I'll put that in a sentence too. So phone numbers used by scammers are often spoofed, so they are made to look real when they're not, but they are totally fake, so that the number appearing on a consumer's phone is not the actual number where the call originated. Yeah, so, you know, very common for it to look like it's coming from your home country, but then they are actually living in completely different other countries and things as well. So that is also how we would use the word spoof. So kind of a cool word, an interesting one. Go ahead, ask. Prince of India. Ugh. Throat dangler. Let's do this one. Valley obscures. There's an S here. There you go. I put an S here. Valleys are typically places in the middle of mountains, right? And if you were in the mountains and things like that, it's kind of common for there to be, you know, maybe almost like clouds and things. So I think we're kind of looking for a word about that. Something like this. So sort of like things, cloudy things that would obscure, that would hide the view of mountains and valleys, basically. Something like that. So some tricky ones in here today, actually. I guess. A little bit tricky, but that's okay. So smogs would be, so smog is typically, it's like a combination of pollution and fog. That's something that you would find in a city, right? But here we're kind of out, we're in nature. So hopefully there's going to be less smog in nature. But I think this might be, this one starts with an M. It starts with an M. Let's put an M in here. So more like a natural phenomenon that might happen when there's like precipitation that's kind of close to the ground. is a natural phenomenon as opposed to something man-made. Almost like a fog, right? Maybe fogs, but fogs doesn't fit here. I think this one is going to be mists. So mists could also be this thing here. So let's put mists in here. I'm gonna put that there. Resting on singing voice. So people have different vocal ranges, right? A range in music is kind of like, you know, from the lowest note, like the lowest to highest note someone or something can sing or play, right? So yeah, I think this one is going to be an alto. So they typically sing rather up high. So let's put alto in here for our singing voice. An door fastener. I don't know. I don't think that we're going to know what this one is. I mean, maybe. It's the little, I'm gonna show you what this is. This dangle, something that dangles. Something that dangles, it's like attached to something, but then it kind of, comes down a little bit. Like, I'm gonna show you maybe like earrings that dangle to give you an idea of what I mean by it. So here are some. Here's an earring that's dangling, right? So it's attached to the earlobe, but then it comes down and it kind of can swing back and forth and things like that. Anyways, there's this thing at the back of your throat that also is that kind of dangles, right? This little thing here. I don't know if we're gonna know this word. Probably not. I feel like this is random, like super random trivia, but there's a name for this little thingy back here. That's what we're looking for. I think it starts with a U. Let's put a U in here. I'll put a U. Some random vocabulary today. Don't know this word in English. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people wouldn't know what this is either. And I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it. It's like uvula or something like that. I think. Let's find out what it is. Uvula. So that is a uvula. I would have guessed uvula, but uvula. All right, so we got the uvula. I think this is a toddy is a drink. This is an alcohol, the type of alcohol. This one here, something a type of alcohol that you would use in a toddy. I don't really drink. Let's kind of see what is a toddy a warm drink? Apparently you can put whiskey in it, but you're right. Yeah, I think this is gonna be rum. Here is our toddy. I've never had this before. Let me know if you've had this before, because I've not. Well, let's put rum in here. I think what this is basically another word. This is like ace, right? I think this is like a nickname for somebody. And the example of a nickname for somebody. But I think this word is another word for somebody who flies an airplane. Someone who flies an airplane. So I think especially maybe in like the military or something like that, they might give them, you know, ace could be their nickname or something like that. But yeah, I think we're looking for a name. Somebody who would fly an airplane. An aviator, exactly. So aviator, let's put that in here. So aviator. What else we got here? Memory unit. I think this has to do with computers. This is a computer thing. Memory is like a thing that goes into the computer, right? And helps you you save things, right? Files of your computer. So it kind of helps determine how much space your computer basically has, right? And there is a unit. There is sort of a unit of measurement that we use when we're talking about computer memory. A unit of measurement used in computers kind of refers to file size or something, right? Basically. I think I got that right. Yeah, it's a unit of computer information, basically. Consisting of a group of usually bits or something. So something to do with file size. It starts with a B. I'll put a B in here, maybe. And these days, you know, we don't even think about like, because this is like the smallest sort of unit of measurement, but these days, hard drives and things like that are really huge, right? So this almost gets used now as like part of other compound nouns and stuff like that. But yeah, used to refer to basically how much storage something has, or maybe how big the files are. So bits, super close. I think this is going to be a byte. So it's going to be a byte. So for example, megabyte or gigabyte, trilobyte. All of those are sort of like sizes like of information. So let's put that in there. Bits, another solid guess. I don't know enough about computers to like really talk about the difference. But yeah. Give off. So this is a verb. A verb. That basically means if you give something off, you release something, right? Means to release. So maybe like an odor, for example, or a smell, for example. So we're kind of looking for a verb that also refers to maybe giving something off. Yeah. Yeah, basically mean like this, maybe send out a noise or a smell. Send off a noise, maybe a smell, maybe a gas. I think this is kind of key because this word also gets used a lot when we are talking about, you know, releasing gases and things into the atmosphere. Emit, exactly. So let's put emit in here. So emit here, and of course too, I think we know the word emissions, or emissions, basically those things that are given off from something released into the air, those toxic things, air pollution and stuff like that. Nice. Tower site. This is like a famous tower in, isn't it like the tower that was, where there were lots of different, languages and things like that? I think. Something like that. So, yeah, something. So a famous tower, or the location, I should say. Location of a famous tower of myth. That had to do with languages. I don't know the detail, but exactly. Babel. The Tower of Babel. So let's put that in here. And corn units. Oh, let's do this one. This might be really easy. So a diner is basically, it's a type of restaurant. A diner is a type of restaurant. They're kind of sort of casual restaurants usually. Here you might find them on the side of the highway and things like that. But yeah, you would go there and you would buy something. So this is something that you might buy. Something you'd buy at a diner, or really at any other kind of restaurant. So meat for sure you would get. I think we want something even more general word. It is an M here though, because I know you can see tiara feature too. That is like a sort of a crown almost. A meal, exactly. I think we're gonna buy meals when we are at a restaurant. So let's put that in here. We have our gems. Those are the little shiny little rocks, shiny stones on a piece of jewelry. And a tiara is sort of a very small little crown, almost goes on top of the head. An ear unit. So I would put the S in here because there is a plural here. Basically the word for the entire thing, like the entire piece of corn. When it still has the outer, the leafy part on it as well. Ear, yeah, ear was also in one of our crosswords, exactly. So an ear of corn, that refers to the whole thing. Yeah, so let's put ears in here. Awesome. Yeah, good memory, great memory. So typically you would buy ears of corn if you were buying corn. All right, what else here? Whoop it up. I don't know, but I think we might know this one. So a dwelling is a place where you live, right? A dwelling is a place where you live. So basically this is another word for maybe home. Maybe a little bit more informal though, I think. Or there's a couple collocations where I would use this actually. I wouldn't use this word all the time, but there are a few collocations I would use it in. I feel like this could be a new word. Maybe. Possibly. And what else is here? We could do this one too. That might help us give more information too. A caribou is a type of animal. Similar to a deer. And they typically live in very cold northern climates. And they kind of roam around. Kind of like reindeer. I think reindeer is another word for a caribou. I think that's how you spell it. Oh, there we go. Reindeer. One of these guys. So, another animal similar to a caribou. And that will probably help us here with this one. Maybe a little bit more information. I feel like this one's also, like, this word is also often in the crossword. There are always words that show up all the time. And then eventually you just get to, you just get used to them. And then the crossword gets a little bit easier. Elk, exactly. So elk, another very convenient crossword word. So let's put that here. Oh no. Okay, all right. So we have an E. Or maybe we can figure this one out, actually. Another Madonna song. Another Madonna song. I think I know what this one is. Something. New word. Another word. Oh, something. Maybe if you know. But that might help. Justify my love, exactly. Justify my love. All right, yeah, awesome. So justify my love. Cool. All right. And this here, you want to take a guess as to what this word is? We're getting like super close to figuring it out. So I think this is going to be abode, and I'm going to tell you how I would use this word because I would not use it in all contexts, but one sort of very common phrase I would use this word in is, welcome to my humble abode. Welcome to my humble abode. So basically my little home, basically. Welcome to my little home. And this is kind of like, it's kind of humorous. So a little humorous way to say that. And also too, there's the phrase also, to have no fixed abode, which apparently they use in the UK. We wouldn't say that here, but which basically means to have no fixed address, or like no permanent home, basically. So you have no fixed abode, and apparently that's very formal. But I would use it this way. Hey, welcome to my humble abode. That is how I would use that. So let's put abode in here. I don't know what whoop it up means. But if you revel in something though, if you revel in something, you really enjoy it. Like, you like it a lot. So let's put that here. And then maybe this here, something that is streamlined. Being streamlined is rather, it's very simplified, right? And maybe without a lot of extra decoration, right? Things like that, right? So I think you would use this word maybe to describe furniture or design, something like that. Yeah, so something is really simplified, almost like maybe like a kind of like really modern, has like really modern, really clean look. Something like that. I'm gonna try to get like a picture maybe of something that's kind of like that. Like kind of has the quality of really clean lines and things like that. Maybe like a little bit like this, you know, everything has nice clean lines, minimal little extra details and things. Or I like this one actually too. They all kind of have that really clean, sort of clean look. Anyways, I might use the word sleek to describe both of these photos or the things that are in here. They have very sleek design. So very simple, no extra decorations, very clean lines. I know I keep saying that too, but yeah, so sleek I think is going to be our word here. We're really close. I don't know what this one is. But resting on something, So if you rest on something, if you are resting on something, you are laying on it, basically. So we're looking for kind of another word. Another way. Basically another word that means to be maybe on something. And I think we're touching as well too. I think that's another sort of key detail. Yeah, it's like a preposition. I think so. A top, exactly. Something that is a top of something else. I'm gonna put it in a sentence just so we can see it. because it's a less common preposition, but she sat atop a 2-meter wall. Yes, so let's put that in here. I don't know what this is. Go ahead, ask. Go ahead, ask. I mean, you could say, you know, go ahead, ask in a very friendly way, but you might also be like, go ahead, ask, kind of in a, almost a bit of a threatening way. I feel like this is what this is. T-R-Y, new word, something. So maybe a response you'd give to someone. Maybe if they were threatening you and you're like, you know, go ahead, do it, or go ahead, ask, or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, try me. I'm trying to get a sort of a idea of like a sentence about how I would use this, because I would use it as a response. You know, if I feel like somebody's challenging, if somebody's challenging me, I would be like, yeah, try me. See how it goes. Anyways, that would be kind of a response I would make to give to someone who's maybe challenging you and you think you can take them, basically. Go ahead, try me, make my day. And I don't know, part of a Pentagon web address and a proofing mark. I don't know what this is. Any guesses as to what this one is? Do you have a guess? I wonder if this is part of like military or something. That would be my guess. The Pentagon is kind of like this the security place in the United States. So maybe an L? I don't know. And I don't know what this one is either. This door fastener. MIT. Okay. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, like the that was like a school, right? It's a school. But how about this one? Because I don't know what this one is either. This Prince of India. I feel like Raja. Okay, cool. All right. Well, we are close. We are close. This one. We did another. Let's do another guess, maybe. This one is a little bit tricky. This was trickier than I realized. But we did a good job, though, I think. We did a super good job. The MIT. We need another one. I think it's an L. I'm gonna put an L in. Because I feel like maybe it's like military or something like that. Okay. Anyways. Alright, anyways, awesome. Great job. I really appreciate your participation. I always love when you participate. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. So this is a lot of fun. Yeah, we did a really great job. We nailed it. We did really great. A lot of interesting words in this one today. Very kind of uncommon words. I find that the crossword gets harder as the week goes on. So they tend to be really easy on Mondays, and then on, you know, Fridays, Saturdays, they get a little bit tricky. But we did a really good job. We got through it. Not too bad. We made pretty good time as well, too. So that's really fantastic. So if you like this, or if you're watching this after, feel free to give this little video a like, a little thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to come and play again. So the next time I will be doing a crossword is on Wednesday at 1300. Yes, so many new words today. I know, there was a lot of them. So 1300 UTC, I will be back on Wednesday. Basically this time, next Wednesday, to do another crossword. So I really look forward to it. And I hope that you guys have a really good weekend. So, thanks so much. Have a great weekend. I know I'm going to have a really great weekend, so really looking forward to it. And I will see you guys next time on next Wednesday, whatever. Anyways, bye everybody. Bye.